My, what a delicious morsel we have here. Are you lost, little rabbit? I don't think I've ever seen you around here. Oh, come now. You have nothing to fear. Our costumes may portend an ill-ending relationship, but I assure you that I am a most charming and respectful wolf. I abide by polite courtesy and elegant social conventions. Though I can say I'm not fantasizing about what you would taste like. Can't say I wouldn't like to eat you all right about now. Relax, have some wine, enjoy the music. In fact, the dance floor seems to be distinctly missing a bunny and wolf duo. A shame. To lack in such delectable antics, don't you think? Though it is a shortcoming most easily ameliorated. Won't you join me? Excellent. Take my arm. Your skin is quite soft. I wonder if your lips are half as supple. Don't worry, sweet rabbit. I won't bite. Unless you want me to. You're quite right. I suppose a fox costume might have been more fitting for my willy advances. The sly, clever fox, refined in its tame mischief. But I don't want to be a clever or sly. I want you. And you'll find, my dear, that I am far, far from refined. And what I want to do to you is worlds apart from anything from tame mischief. No, a wolf pursues and consumes violently and by the whims of their own feral nature. A beast untamed, and so a beast I shall be. Hiding it all you like, there's something quite tempting about a creature so savage, the allure so strong as to feel almost sinful. Would you condemn me for my gluttony or my lust? And equally damning, the craving that overwhelms you, a ferocious appetite for seductive danger indeed. And dear, I'd be more than happy to satisfy this hunger for you, if only you promise to satisfy me in turn. I've been starving for so long, and I've finally found someone worthwhile to feast. With or on, that is yet to be decided. Oh, but sweet morsel, isn't it obvious? I was drawn to you the moment I laid my eyes on you. Everything about you intrigues me. Your voice, your presence, your scent. It's quite captivating, provocative, irresistible. Oh, I think we'll get along quite nicely, little rabbit. I think you'll come to find that I'm a splendid partner in many affairs, conversation, dance, and other such nighttime rituals. Something about you thrills me, and I can see it in your eyes. Maybe our costumes were picked out by the fates themselves, the nature of our coming entanglement foretold by those lovely snow-white ears of yours and those sharp teeth of mine. Your heart is beating even faster, dear one. I can most certainly tell you can feel your pulse through your glove. I could feel it even if I were to only softly kiss the inside of your wrist, like so. Shall we see if this method holds true for the pulse on your neck as well? Come now, there's no point in denying it. You ache for the chase, for the adrenaline, to be devoured whole. And who are we to interrupt such natural, inevitable, primal urges? Let's start our hunt soon, yes? I'm feeling positively ravenous. I rarely find a treat that I'm so utterly bewitched by. I can hardly contain myself. It almost reminds me of, don't move. Stare into my eyes, smile like nothing is wrong. No, you don't think anything is wrong at all. You're happy, giddy. You're holding your breath as I touch your cheek. You're frozen in place as my fingertips ever so gently brush your lips, while I take the point of your cowl in my hands. You're awestruck as I lean in close, so very close, and yet you'd like me to be closer still when I pull your hood back to reveal human. I thought I told you to stay away and never come looking for me. Lowly mortal, I can't believe I let myself get this close to you again, that I'm actually dancing with you right now. It's disgusting. You know where the boundaries between our world lie. You made that quite clear when you trapped me in that iron cage for weeks. How did you end up here? Oh, how wonderful it is to see the righteous fall so far. To think all those weapons and charms to work against us, and you're felled by simply beguiling fairy song. That's a good guess, but I'd like to think I have more creative schemes in store for you. The imbalance between us is a force that constantly harrows me. You had the misfortune of stumbling upon it once again. All that began that fateful day of our meeting, and all that's been allowed to fester since will finally be brought to an end. And what have you done to me? All that you do to me. And for what? Accidentally chasing prey onto your grounds. Their existence, a debt between us, one I intend on repaying fully and kind. You know where your family had me dangling in that shed for all those days. I thought of nothing more than slowly, meticulously slicing them apart, bit by bit, as the iron bars burned my skin, as I choked on the salted rowan berries that they forced down my throat to keep me alive and in agony. And there you were. You with your water, You with your bread, you with your kindness. A preemptive, self-serving kindness that only worked towards prolonging my torment and maiming my pride. Through all that pain and suffering, I thought of you and only you. Of all the humans that have ever dared to touch me, you are the one I think of the most. You, and even as I plot my revenge against your family, even as I dream of their terrified screams, it's you that I want most of all. I'm seething with hatred and rancor, and I can't seem to stop bringing to my mind the image of your face. Are you frightened? You should be. But you don't look it, do you? You drank the wine against your better judgment, and now even as you're smiling from ear to ear, dancing with vigor, your cheeks flushed with the lovely shade of pink, on the inside you're filled with absolute dread. Are those tears? I'm half tempted to taste them, the bitter sting of them on my tongue. A delicious contrast to the absolute pleasure of seeing that sweet, horrified look in your eyes. We truly are a rabbit and wolf, aren't we? I could make you do anything I want right now. I already glamoured you earlier, when I took off your hood, and who's to stop me from doing that again? I'm having trouble undeciding the nature of fun I want you to perform just for me tonight, though. Something mortifying, something amusing, something naughty. No, I think I'll just step away and watch you dance, and dance, and dance forever. Such filthy words for so delighted face, and what pathetic, baseless accusations you throw. It's almost comical. Oh, yes, dear, baseless accusations indeed. That's all they are. Pitiful imitations of solace to distract you from your own despair. You know I can't lie. Remember? What are the first rules any mortal babe living at the edge of a magical woods learns? Never give your true name. Never eat fairy food. Never dance at a fairy revel. You've already broken those latter two, but that first rule has yet to be breached. I'm not worried, though. We have time yet, my pet. Dance for me. Grow desperate. Feel that same helplessness as I for those torturous weeks. The same detestable helplessness I feel now looking at your face. I think I'll do the same thing to you that you did to me. I wished for merciful death in that cage, but you just wouldn't let me die. I bet you relish the power you held over me in those moments, the inferior mortal finally taming their powerful better. I bet you savored how, even as my consciousness mind begged for you to leave me alone to rot and die, I crumbled at the mere sight of you. My resolve bending to your will, my base instincts to survive ruling out all logic. That vile conditioning, a deplorable abomination of hope and hate. I can do that for you. I can force you to eat our delicious and delicacies until you're well and sick, and I can repair that cut and scrapes that will mar your feet until you're covered in scars, all to keep you alive and dancing. Forever, for me and me alone. This personal show, retribute from the pain you cause me daily. You'll see what I can just as easily make you beg, too. And when this is over, when your mind is frayed and tattered as mine was, is then perhaps all designed to... Your Highness, to what do I owe the pleasure? Oh, my dancing partner, here is far too lowly for the likes of your royal blood to have ever met. Leave them be. As far as invited guests go, there are only one of mine. Please, allow me to serve you some refreshments, and we can move on to more appealing topics. I insist, I insist. Pay no heed to this commoner. There is a charm that intrigues my uniquely morbid tastes, unsuited for your refined palate. Your Highness, that hood is an integral part of their costume. Perhaps it wouldn't be wise to... Yes, Your Grace, this guest is human, but I stand by my earlier statement. They are mine. They have been for some time. No, as of now, they are not my pet, nor under my named control, but I assure you they are mine. Of course, I agree. Rabbit, halt your dancing. Pay your respect to the royal family. Heirs to the enchanted Alluring forest. There, a most lovely bow, wouldn't you agree? Swift and compliant, as expected from one I hope to bespelled by me. Certainly that can convince you of the surety of their mind under my thrall. Of course, and you would be well within your right to claim this human as your own pet, but as I have insisted, and also already proven, they are mine. Before you lie as will, already tamed, broken, and at the mercy of all the binds this wolf and rabbit, they will listen to me and me alone, especially when their life depends on it. Perhaps to prove our relationship, we could do something more compelling. Oh, bunnies are good for far more than simple parlor tricks. They can put on the most entertaining of shows. Can't you, dear? My prince and princess, this one may see you as royal heirs, but under my direction, this human will see me as a deity. My words will be sacrosanct, the life oblation. Would you like to see? Mortal, kneel for me. Mortal, tip your chin up. Look into my eyes, bare your throat to me. Mortal, whisper your worship and adoration for me. Slower, slower. Mortal, don't move an inch, even as I put this dagger to your throat. Even as I cup the back of your neck to press the blade further in. Even as I bring my lips to your ear to offer you a final farewell. You're putting a good show, dear, though I think reverence is far less an arresting expression on your face than delicious pleading. See, Your Highness, even in the face of death, perfectly tame and docile, perfectly mine. Yes, thank you. I, in particular, am enjoying the revel immensely. Your costumed events are always fun. I've waited so long to see my human just like this. I hope that the tithing I dropped off at the altar earlier will prove to be a most agreeable offer. Yes, of course. Have a good evening. Oh, that's quite touching, human. Most would slip up and immediately rise as soon as they thought the charade was over. But you know better, don't you? You know you'll have to keep up this act if you wish to remain unclaimed by unknown vicious faeries here, just as eager to devour you. I can't say I really want you to stop kneeling. I quite like the sight of your bowed head, of your vulnerable neck. But look here, human. I said, look here. As of now, you are trapped here in Faerie. That food you've eaten has bound your mortal soul to these lands, and if you were to ever step foot outside of this forest, you'd immediately turn to ash. You have three choices. You can leave these woods and die young and pointless. You can strike out on your own in this world and either get eaten by some monster or enslaved by a cruel, ruthless stranger. Or you can take your chances with me. Give me your true name. It's the only way for me to ensure that you won't do anything stupid and get the both of us killed while you're here. It'll cement your status as my personal, chosen plaything, elevating your status to that. No one would dare to touch you. No one except me, of course. It's too much of a hassle to continuously glamour you, and it would prove to be a sort of invitation for other interested parties, like the prince and princess themselves, to come and try to steal you away from me. You don't want that. I don't want that. Well, obviously, I'd like your name for my own purposes, but at least I'm a poison you've already tasted. It's up to you to predict whether you can survive me. Oh, I have plans. Of course I have plans. I meant every word I said about the pain and suffering and hatred. Every word about you. Withered sanity will feel like nothing compared to what I want you to feel. You will feel a burning as fierce as my own. And that overwhelming want to hurt and break and shatter, you will feel that same want I feel for you. Your desire will match my own, withering and inescapable, excruciating, mind-consuming. The remedy, an agonizing venom in of itself, by the name for you and you and you, abating this torment, feeding it, a damned, cynical frenzy growing into madness, indistinguishable from addiction. And beneath it all, that struggling to crawl your way back to contempt, only to find the betrayal of infatuation instead. That confusion of whether the tears you cry are of fury or of gratitude, of disgust or vengeance, of hate or But I'll be fair. I'll teach you in kind how to grow your fangs and sharpen your claws, poor sweet rabbit, for the purest of pleasures are that which drip brutality and bleed viciousness. If you are to occupy the barren wastelands of my mind for all eternity, I'd rather my sanity be a gore-soaked battlefield born from the fruits of your slaughter. If I am to be undone, let my ruin lie in the wake of the devastation that is you. We can see who will survive our little hunt, who truly plays the part of the prey, who will devour who in the end. Take my hand. Good. Now prick my thumb and bring it to your mouth. Speak your true name. Lick the blood from your lips. There. It's done. We are bound, and now you are truly mine. Setting aside your human faults, I will admit, and only because I know you feel the same. I feel something catching fire here at the beginning of our carnal game. Hatred, loathing, and resentment are self-evident, but that's the pervasive feeling, seeping into all other emotions, tainting them, dominating them, intoxicating and ravaging. Need. This will be wicked, Wicked fun.